A mind is its own place, and in itself can make heaven of hell, hell of heaven. So when it comes to mental toughness, and those of us who give up on goals, get angry so easily, rely on external experiences to make us feel good, those of us who can't take criticism, can't ignore negative comments, those who are lacking in positivity, struggle to cope with stress, or have a negative self-image, what can be done? The goal is not to become unflappable, but less distressed and more composed, more able to cope with life's irritations, achieve goals, welcome the process, not just the outcomes, experience more enjoyment, become more sane. Well, just like athletes can become even faster, stronger and more skillful, we can change our brain to be more resilient, develop grittiness and achieve our desired goals against the odds. We can all become more mentally tough in the moment to avoid that chocolate cake and in the long-term process of achieving a goal. But why does negativity seem to be the default setting for all of us? Life always seems more muddled than perfect, more negative than positive. Evolution plays a big part. One day my daughter approached me and asked, "Daddy, why do things get muddled so easily?" "What do you mean muddled?" I said. "You know, when things aren't perfect. Just look at my room right now. Stuff is all over the place. Muddled. Only I worked so hard yesterday to make it right, but things just get muddled so easily." "Show me what you mean when you said you worked so hard to make it right." She responded by carefully placing everything away into its rightful place, and then said, "There, now it's perfect." "But it never stays that way for long," she replied. Then I asked, "What if I moved your pillow here, to the bottom of your bed?" "No, it's muddled." "What if I took your favourite teddy and placed it over here on your desk?" "No, Daddy, anyway, it would have to be sitting up straight for it to be perfect, not the way you've put it down." I turned to her and said, "It's not that things get muddled so easily. It's that you have more ways for things to be muddled. You only have one way for things to be perfect. We all create numerous ways to feel bad, and not many ways to feel good." So mental toughness, what is it and how can you improve it? It can be defined as the ability to achieve your goals in less than desirable circumstances. But what are we being tough against? In my opinion, stimulus that causes feelings, thoughts, and behaviours, and hence results, that we don't want. When our minds get stressed, this is what happens. Your nervous system ramps up, priming you for fight or flight. Your amygdala activates the chimp. Distress signals activate adrenaline, which raises your heart rate, blood pressure and breathing. Your nervous system releases sugar and fats from storage to give your muscles energy to run away or fight. All this creates an uncomfortable state and a compulsion to get rid of it. After the event, if it continues to bother you, your body releases cortisol, the second stress hormone. Your brain then creates memories as it wants to remember the situation, so it's more likely to survive when danger arrives next time. When your prefrontal cortex, where your thoughts occur, decides the threat has passed, or comes up with a plan to eradicate it, the cortisol stops. But if your system becomes dysregulated, if you're really stressed or do not decide the threat has gone, or if you dwell on the past with your thoughts, the cortisol levels don't drop sharply enough. In fact, they are elevated all day, which damages health, harms the immune system, and makes it hard to learn. So how do we recover? People who exercise more regularly recover much quicker. But there are other strategies. Mental toughness is not something you do once, it's a process. The best way I can describe it is being able to do what you want to do when you don't feel like doing it. It's being able to communicate with yourself better. If we take a look at the 4 cornerstones of mental toughness, firstly, motivation. What is it? Not many people think of it as an emotion, but it is. And what causes our emotions? We do, by the way we communicate with ourselves about what's happening to us. Number 2, confidence, an emotion. But to get it, haven't we got to communicate better with ourselves? Number 3, self-talk. What is it? Again, communication that creates an emotional state. Number 4, concentration and focus. Is that not communication? Those of us who have great communication skills with others are also very good at communicating and regulating ourselves and our emotions and ultimately our behaviour and results. Mental toughness is organising thoughts and images in your mind to produce emotions and behaviours that match up with your desired outcome. It's changing your perception of stresses and feelings that promote inaction and produce less than peak performance and destroy achievement. Take fear, for example, a handy emotion to have, but for some people, not in all cases. A speeding car hurtling towards you, fear is good. A public speech, fear not so good. But if you can learn to perceive fear as helpful, then getting what you want becomes easier. Mentally tough people welcome fear, they see it as challenging. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. If it doesn't scare you, then what's the point? But most of us let fear paralyse us and we avoid it. So a difference in somebody mentally tough and somebody who isn't may be as simple as a belief about what fear means. Unfortunately, there isn't a secret, there isn't a magical ingredient. There are many ways to strengthen your mental toughness, including exercise, meditation, nutrition, rest, general therapies to change your beliefs. Emma rates exercise extremely highly on that list. The benefits are just so huge and side effects so small that if you could produce an exercise pill, it would be prescribed by every doctor in the country. Science is also now proving the benefits of meditation, and whilst there is a lot of conflict over how much sleep and which foods to eat, it doesn't do any harm to experiment and find out how much sleep you need and what foods are best for you. Some therapies such as CBT are also found to be more effective than a prescription drug. Emma highly recommends the .B exercise for a strong mind when it comes to calming yourself down after feeling angry. Here's what to do. Viktor Frankl once said, between stimulus and response there is a gap, and in that gap lies freedom. Here's what to do in that moment of freedom that will enable you to make the decision you most desire. The .B exercise is a grounding technique that calms the body. It's a really simple technique. We usually think of our focus as being inside our heads, but we can shift it around our bodies. Can you feel your toes? How do they feel? Are they warm or cold? Cramped or tingling? Now try switching attention to your breath. Take a few seconds to feel the passage of air inside your nostrils or on the back of your tongue. Now you're ready to try a .B. If you feel you're starting to lose your temper or panic, instantly drop your focus through your body to your feet. How do they feel? Then lift it to your breath. How does it feel? And that's it. It sounds ridiculously simple, but why make it hard for ourselves, right? And that's my interpretation of the great book Sane by Emma Young. Please subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. Thanks for watching.